Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope everybody is safe at home. I am Pallavi, Assistant Professor of Management. Welcome back you to the research methodology classes. Today we are going to talk about descriptive research and experimental research. Okay, we are going to talk about descriptive research and experimental research. Uh, Friends, we have already discussed about descriptive research and experimental research while discussing the types of research as well as discussing the research design also, types of research design also. But today we are going to talk about the in detail what is descriptive research and how it is conducted and what are the examples, and as well as the what is experimental research and how it is conducted and what are the examples. Okay, let us start with the session. Okay, descriptive research is a type of research that describes population, situation, phenomenon that is being studied. Okay, as the name suggests, descriptive research is undertaken to describe any situation or a community or a phenomena or outcome of any program. Okay, the main goal of this type of research is to describe the data and characteristics, describe the data what we are collecting or the characteristics of the variables which are under study. Okay, that is called as descriptive research. The annual census, say for example, annual census which is conducted by government is an example for descriptive research. Okay, so descriptive research is applicable only to the time bound research methods. Okay, and the descriptive natures are in diagnostic in nature. The studies indicate that the characteristics or describing the nature of the variables which are under study is called as descriptive research. That we have to keep it in mind. Okay, so these are the very formal in nature. They restrict the flexibility and also versatility. So we have to maintain a single type of study. We cannot change the variables or change the sample like that. Okay, exploratory research is loosely structured, right? But we can, in descriptive research, it is a formally structured and it is strict. We cannot be flexible in the making descriptive research. Okay, so it is a formally designed and there are specific methods which are involved, and we have to select the sources for collecting information or data from those sources, whether it is a primary data or secondary data. So we have to mention that and we have to be particular about that sources of the data. Okay, so it is like market, to study the market condition we use descriptive research, or characteristics or functions if you are studying, then it is called as descriptive research method. Estimate the percentage of customer in a particular group exhibiting the same purchase behavior, means customer buying behavior if you are studying. Okay, customers buying behavior if you are studying, that is also called as a descriptive nature research. Okay, so but here they say that particular group means sample is decided here. Okay, sample is decided, we are not changing a sample. Okay, what is the perception of product characteristics to predict the pattern of behavior of characteristics versus the other characteristics of the product? These are the some examples of the our descriptive research type. Okay, let us discuss something. Let us take an example. There is an ice cream company wanted to find out how to target the Indian consumers to include high-end ice creams. Right? We Indians are not prone to eat high-end ice creams. They feel like that. But now it is a developing economy. We can afford having high-end ice cream. Okay, it might be like Baskin Robbins or etc. Okay. So this ice cream company outsources a local market researcher to find out whether Indian people are having a dessert consumption habits or not. We eat ice creams or any sweets whenever we want. We don't eat it in a meal, right? That is our habit. Let us see what happens in that. The study was conducted in March to May 2008 on 1,000 Indian metro consumers in the upper income bracket. So they are conducting about the habit of eating ice cream. Okay, an ice cream company and a high-end selling ice cream company. They want to know the consumption of ice cream. Okay, consumption of ice cream to Indian customer. They have selected 1,000 people as sample. This is the sample size. And also the nature of the sample is here. Nature of the sample is they are the high income group people. Okay, high income group people. So now what would be the result they have came across? The consumer survey conducted reveals that most Indians have sweet tooth and prefer to eat the specific regional at home. Okay. So what they find out that the consumers are, like to eat sweets. Indian consumers like to eat sweets, but they prefer to eat the regional sweets which are available for them. Okay, not like ice creams and all. Next, what happens? However, then they are out. They love experimenting and generally, especially in summer. So they eat ice creams. Indians eat ice cream in summer. Okay, or when they come out as an outing or for if they go for shopping or something, they eat the ice creams. Okay, these are the things which have conducted research conducted on this, and they have explained the characteristics and feature how the market condition or how the perception of product or characteristics have affected the our research study. Okay, descriptive studies are longitudinal or cross-sectional. In previous video, if you see research design video, then we have discussed about what is longitudinal study and what is cross-sectional study. Longitudinal study considers single sample. Okay, only one sample for longer period of time. Okay, and it is studied under the regular intervals, like 20 years or 25 years. So regular interval will be 5 years intervals. Then the same sample would be studied on the same variables for regular interval for a longer period of time. Okay, cross-sectional is like which is connected on different sample group. Okay, sample will be different here. And it is for particular time, one time. Okay, it is for a particular fixed time. So there, we cannot change the we can change variable and as well as sample also. That is called as cross-sectional descriptive research method. Okay, so longitudinal research relies on panel data or panel methods. Okay, it involves a fixing a panel consists of fixed sample. So it says that the sample is fixed here. Okay, then it is measured in the regular interval or measured repeatedly means regular interval time they will be that sample would be measured. Okay, that is called as longitudinal research. This will be a for longer period or you can say it as an extended period. Cross-sectional research is the frequently used descriptive research, means for any student projects or for many marketing research would like to go for the cross-sectional research. That's why they are called as frequently used. They have said that frequently used descriptive research. Okay, it involves a sample element from population of interest. Okay, the sample would be selected from the population. Okay, that sample would be measured in number of characteristics, like how we have measured like Indians, like in previous example, Indians. Okay, high income Indians. These are the characteristics which we have seen in the previous example. Okay, then two types of cross-sectional studies: field studies and surveys. Surveys are like taking a questionnaire and collecting the data from the people or sending email like that. Field studies or something where we like marketing research, we go to the field like census. Okay, that is called as field study. Next, come to the experimental research design. So experimental research design is something, it is related to science, most probably experimental related. It is a physical science people. They involve themselves in a experimental research. Means if you imagine chemistry lab or a physics lab or your botany lab or some kind of lab, see if there will be experiments going on, right? That is called as experiment research, which is the most familiar type of research designed for the physical science. They always do the experimental research. For example, if you're imagine taking two samples of some plant, okay, two samples of a plant, and same plant, okay, take same plant, okay, take 2 units of plant. One plant you place in something like this plant, 2 plants, okay, you take 2 plants of the same type, then expose one to the sunlight, another keep away from the sunlight, okay, you cover this from the sunlight and you expose it to sunlight, okay. So what we are doing, we are conducting some simple experiment that how plant would grow or stop growing if it is exposed to sunlight or not exposed to sunlight, okay. Let the plant exposed to sunlight be called as sample A and sample A, and the plant which is not exposed is called as sample B, okay. For few time later, okay, we can find out that A grows and B dies. So this plant which is exposed to sunlight, which grows, and the plant not exposed to sunlight does not grows, okay. So this is the one example of experiment, how we have a simple experiment which we have conducted, okay. So this is a experimental research is a scientific approach, okay, where one or more variables or independent variables are manipulated, okay, like independent variables are manipulated, like sunlight is independent variable here. Then the effect of independent variable on dependent variable like growth of the plant would be tested by manipulating our sample. This is about experimental research. I hope you're getting my point, okay. Say another one is cause and effect relationship we will find out in the experimental research, okay. Always we talk about price and demand in cause and experiment reason, how demand is we increase or decrease on the basis of whether price is increasing or decreasing. Like that we can find out the cause and effect relationship. Or if you are getting a flu, then the cause would be infection, viral infection, okay. Or you might have got drenched in the rain, so which is the cause of your after diagnosing we will get to know why you have got affected with the flu. It might be viral infection, not the when you are getting drenched in the rain, okay. That is about cause and effect relationship. Now we are going to talk about the types of experimental research. There are 3 types of experimental research. One is pre-experimental research design, true experimental research design, and quasi-experimental research design. We're going to study the one after one, okay. First one is pre-experimental research design. It is either you study either a group or various dependent groups which are observed for a effect of application of independent variable. You are taking a group or any variable which is independent variable which is a dependent variable. So you are observing dependent variable, say example X, you are observing the effect of independent variable Y, okay, on the dependent variable, okay. That is the pre-experimental research design, okay. So what happens in pre-experimental design is that dependent groups are observed for the effect of application of, and what it says that independent variable, how it is react on independent variable, dependent variable. So it is assumed that this could be a cause of change, and it is treated into a group, okay. So all the dependent variables are treated as a group, and we are going to study the independent variables effect on the dependent variables. Okay, so that is like pre-experimental research. Okay, so you conduct this research to understand whether there is required for further investigation or not. Like I was telling, right, flu can be, you can say that flu is a dependent variable. Okay, now you may say that rain or viral infection are two independent variables which are going to cause this, right? So if we are deciding this one as a x1 or x2, right? So x, if you are saying that because of x1 it is happening, then that might not be true. Then you have to further investigate or further diagnose the cause of your affection of getting affected by the flu, that you might decide about this virtual. So when you are doing the initial stage of research, cause and effect relationship you are finding out, then it is called as pre-experimental research design. Next one is true experimental research design. So as the name itself indicates, it relies on statistical analysis to prove or disprove the hypothesis, right? We cannot directly say that X is reacting because of Y, right? We have to identify various reasons and we have to make a statistical analysis using various statistical tools and technique. Then we have to create the hypothesis and we have to prove or disprove the hypothesis. That is how true experiment research would be conducted. Okay, true experiment research which totally relies on statistical analysis. So if we are get the most accurate results, okay, we have to use the true experimental design. Okay, so to get the exact cause and relationship effect, whether it is directly related or whether it is or reciprocal. So to identify these kind of researches, we have to go for the true experimental research design. Next comes the quasi-experimental research design. So this quasi indicates the similarity, like how it is little like simulation experiments which we were talking about. So it is a similar experimental, but it's not the same. It is like creating similar thing, but not the same. So we have a controlled variable and independent variable, which is reacting on the control variable. So an independent variable is manipulated. Why we can manipulate many times? Okay, say for example, X is your water. Okay, we want to check something water boiling point at different degrees, 80 degree or 70 or 100, like that. So we are manipulating our variables to understand the what our research is giving and results. Okay, this is about cause result. Let us take an example of let us discuss the first advantages. Okay, so when we know the cause and effect relationship, experimental research always give us a cause and effect relationship, right? So that is the we get the direct desired results from that. Okay, what are the subject the industry which does not have the effect impact of experimental research, then implement this kind of experimental research to understand their valuation or their situation in the industry. It's about the organization. The results which we get from experimental research are specific. They are not vague or general results. Okay, they are specific results. They are the exact results which we get. Okay, after analyzing the research, these findings are or your ideas can be applied to the situation which are similar for similar situation which are already undergone for your research situations. Okay, you can identify the cause and effect of the hypothesis here. Researcher can further analyze the relationship between determine the more depth ideas. So the results can be used for the further researchers to get the more depth ideas. Experimental research makes an ideal starting point. So what data we have collected, it collected a foundation on which we can build more ideas and conduct more research. So experimental research always helps us for the more to conduct the more research. Let us take an example, which are student related example I'll take. So during the semesters, students in a class are lectured on a particular courses, and exam is administered at the end of semester. Okay. So what happens here? The students who are the subjects or the subjects of the students which they are studying, say for example, if they are studying BBA subjects, are called as your dependent variable. Okay, subjects are dependent variable here. Okay, then lectures, if you are taking lectures for these subjects, okay, that is your independent variable. So you want to test about the examination, semester examination. Okay, so one group of students are selected to experiment this. So what happens when you are giving this particular subject examples? For example, research methodology semester exams you are giving. I have selected 10 BBA student as a dependent variables, and independent variables is a lecturer who is teaching you the research methodology. So I'll administer that for this 10 students. I manipulate the variable, independent variable. First month I do a very good, lecturing, and second month I'll do an average lecturing, and third month I'll give a low performing, lecture. Now the students' behavior for your first internals, second internals, third internals would change. Okay, when I'm independent variable is giving you good lecture, then the marks of the student would be good. When it is average, then the marks of the student would be average. When it is not, lecture is not giving, performing really low and not giving you good lectures, means your results will be low. Okay. So this is how we are going to check about the dependent and independent variable. So this is about descriptive research and experimental research we have studied. Okay. Thank you for watching.